Brackets. Power. The number 7.
So, we have brackets now. Don't worry, I'm not going to spend a lot of time getting into them specifically and what they all say and what they all mean. I don't know, and I don't really care. And I mean, I think it even mentioned that they were in the beta. Despite not really caring though, I do wonder, where's stacks in all that? Even as somebody who isn't too concerned with power levels, not getting to play your cards is still frustrating. But it's an odd thing to miss. Hi. Hey, I do not envy whoever is in the role of trying to please the player base by coming up with this whole new power system that we apparently need, because it's ultimately subjective and you're not going to please probably even half of the people. I think that's a losing battle for the most part, unless you come up with something truly spectacular, which they're not going to be able to do. The one thing that I do know about the brackets that I know I don't agree with is the game changers thing. More in the sense that while I don't know really any other cards that are on the game changers list, my one Mox Field updated right away as soon as the list came out, just because Will was on the game changers cards, and I disagree with that. And it kind of goes to the heart of what is the problem with trying to make a power list, and especially to try and give it defined specifications. I think Jessica's Will is an entirely contextual card, as just about all cards in Magic are. To kind of give you an example of what I mean, Urza's Saga is generally considered to be a pretty strong card. But when I use it in my mono white Cats Voltron deck, it's like, who cares? Generally though, I just don't really get or understand the why behind doing this. And I mean, I get why people say they want it or think they want something like this. In random circumstances, they want to try to remove or at least reduce aspects of randomness. What if there's like 3 5s and then an 8? Like, do you tell the 8 he has to leave just based on a number? And so much of it feels like that thing that the internet at large tends to do, but that definitely nerds on the internet do constantly, which is, I'm going to be at MagicCon in Chicago. If you see me, be sure to say hello. I have 25 Fungasaur to give away, because it's the dinosaur of the month. Enjoy the rest of the video. To take something that evolves from the ground up, like an inside joke that just gets overused, at the point where it finally makes its way to the up position and then has to be commodified and codified. Something that you say not because it's any longer funny or even accurate, but just the thing that you're expected to say or do. It's like how I cringe every time, you watch a gameplay and the inevitable, oh, we're playing nice, fair, looks like we're all playing nice, fair Magic. Like, it's not funny anymore. It's not interesting. And so what starts out as just like a natural in thing for the player base, like with the brackets and the overthinking about power levels in general, becomes this thing that has to be formulaic, and anybody can look at something and just plug this in, plug that in, and oh, there's my power level now. I guess that's what I am. When really it's like, just read the room. Just make good decks. We really undermine our own intelligence and capabilities by having to add bureaucracy to everything. And we have to have a protocol or a policy for every little thing, it kills the fun. It kills the spirit. And so I outright reject it. I will never tell you, I will never ask you the power level of your deck. And if you tell it to me, I'll just say, cool. And if you ask me what the power level of my deck is, I just won't know. It's just not a thought that occurs to me, and it never is going to. In part because I think when it comes to this discussion, people are much better served by being able to actually discuss things like, instead of a level or a number, what their deck kind of does. Like, the game is just so deep and rich that to try and assign a number to your deck, especially speculatively, is just a ruinous, doomed venture from the beginning. And it's much better if we're able to, if someone is so inclined, it's much better to be able to go into something and say like, oh, I run a shitload of stacks, so like you're not gonna play anything, or I tend to win on like turn 3 or 4. I don't know, just anything. Something that's more of a discussion that actually relates more to the game. I know that's not quick discussions for another time, but it is what it is. You know, there are no solutions, there are only compromises. But what we what will serve you better is to stop blaming or trying to perfect a system. There is no perfect formula that will have increased your chances of winning or of having fun, if that is in fact your goal. Also another topic for another time. Oh, if only I hadn't been with a bunch of 8s, you know, like whatever it is, like whatever you're blaming, it's much better to be able to talk about things afterward, ask questions afterward, or if you're that kind of person, actually take the space and ruminate and actually, you know, ingest something that leads to progression in regards to your ability to play Magic the Gathering, to take something and learn from it. If you're not running any interaction, and then your opponent's boards just fill and fill and fill and overwhelm you, then maybe it's time to start running interaction. If you're going into games thinking, my deck should just always be able to do the thing, then it's probably gonna be bad. Yeah. I'm just gonna end it here.